Nell, you want to help me? Come here. Yeah. So Nell, I have a question for you.
Can you read what this says?
Listen, you're lucky I invited you, Jason. Okay. Nell, sometimes at night, you like me to read you tell you a story, right? What kind of stories do you like the most? Princess stories? Are there any princesses here tonight? Me? I'm a princess? Oh my gosh. Any others? Like, whose wedding is it tonight? Aunt Allie, so maybe she's a princess. Do we have any princes? Connor? Uncle Connie? All right, so maybe I should tell a story about a prince and a princess. How did these stories start? Once upon a time? Okay, so let's do that. So once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess with long, flowing red hair named Allie. Doesn't she look beautiful tonight? Yeah. This princess lived in a big castle by the Sound. And her father paid a lot of real estate taxes. Anyway, like the princess in cartoons, she attended nursery school, elementary school, day camp, soccer, sleepaway camp, college, and eventually moved to her own apartment. Some of this occurs in later seasons, but trust me, this isn't a show you'll want to binge. You should savor it for as long as you can, because it goes by very, very quickly. It turns out that many of these places are not actual tests to see how long the princess can be in the outside world before coming back home to the kingdom. It's a test not for the princess, but instead for the king and queen, who are very protective of the princess. As you know, these tests start small, but over time get bigger and bigger. Anyway, as this magical fairy tale continued to unfold, one day a prince named Connor arrives at our castle, riding on a beautiful white horse named, who got this one? Mercedes. Our prince seemed pretty good. He adored our princess. He liked fast and loud cars. He had superpowers and could help with an iPhone and computer issues. He knew how to make a good drink, and most importantly, he came to the door when dating the princess, and even initially addressed the king as Mr. Lifton, all qualities important to the king. By the way, as you know, the king is really only a figurehead in this story. The prince knew he also had to make the queen happy. And let's say that liking fast cars is not enough to please the queen, as the king already knew. Well, the prince was very good. He was polite, showed interest in whatever was important to the queen, a major plus for all future kings. A major plus that all future princes should possess. And he was helpful in the kitchen with something that the queen had never seen before, as her subjects had limited skills. The queen became smitten with the prince, and Prince Connor won his rightful place in the kingdom. Over time, the royal family grew to love the prince and took him in as one of their own. I don't think the king and queen realized the repercussions of this, as one day the prince and the princess left the kingdom to establish their own smaller kingdom, which was fortunately guarded by strong soldiers called doormen. Unfortunately, many stories have a dark part, and this story is no different. A plague consumed the kingdom. See, honey, I told you people would like this. During this time, many got sick, but the prince and princess would not leave the castle. The king and the queen wanted them to come in safety and stay with them at the summer castle on the Jersey Shore with the rest of the royal family. But the prince and princess felt safest in their own castle overlooking First Avenue. Fortunately, there was a silver lining. The prince and the princess's relationship grew stronger. They fell even deeper in love and decided to get married last summer in a beautiful ceremony at the prince's family castle. It was limited to family and photographers, but it was extremely heartfelt and especially welcome in the midst of a plague. Well, the king thought he got away pretty easy. Well, you're all here tonight, you know how this is gonna happen. There was an uprising in the kingdom. And the prince and the princesses insisted on a second, larger wedding a year later. I know. Frankly, the king had never heard of such a thing. But it turned out that in many kingdoms across the tri-state area, this was becoming a common occurrence. To be quite truthful, the prince supported the princess's wishes, but was torn between wanting to make the princess happy and accepting an offer of a shiny new horse from Stuttgart, where Porsches are made, offered by the king. Well, I think you know how this all turned out. So with that said, welcome to the Prince and Princess's annual wedding. I want to take a moment to thank my incredible bride, the Queen, for those of you who have trouble following the story, for putting together such a beautiful party. As always, no detail was missed. You were truly unbelievable. Between this and the bar mitzvahs, you spent all our money. And like everything else you do, you put this out of the kingdom. Thank you. You look incredible tonight. Julie and I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We know that you had to go through great lengths. Everybody had to go to great lengths to attend this wedding, and we're grateful that you were here. Many of you traveled from faraway lands. We wanted everyone here tonight to feel safe and appreciate that you all had to vaccinated and have had the rapid test or the recent PCR. For those of you who tested for other things, good for you. They say it takes a village, and you are our village. We love you all very much. We know that many of you have not been to an indoor event for a year, other than perhaps shopping for a new dress and shoes. And we appreciate it more than you know. I want to say how happy we are to have Connor's dad, Richard, his brothers, Rich and Pat, and sisters, Chrissy, here tonight. I want to thank Chrissy, Megan, and Bridget, who have graciously welcomed Allie into their sisterhood. Connor, we know that your mom is here in spirit and looking down tonight with a great big smile. We are happy that Jason, Jenna, Nell, and Lane are here. You guys are so important to Allie and Connor, and of course to Mom, Nanny, and me. I feel incredibly blessed to have my mom and dad and Julie's folks here tonight as well. Claire, I wanted to thank you for such a beautiful ceremony. And David, thank you for successfully keeping me out of trouble reviewing 2 of my wedding speeches. Congratulations on your engagement. I know you'll have no trouble breaking the glass. Princess Allie, by the way, Connor said since I'm paying, I can speak as long as I want, so I hope you guys are patient. So Princess Allie, you have always been so special. You are truly beautiful inside and out. It has been a joy for Mom and I being your parents, but we're definitely ready to let Connor take over some of the day-to-day responsibility. Including securing gluten-free tacos. Mom and I had no doubt that you would look spectacular tonight. You looked at every possible dress option, and not finding one that you liked, you sent a designer a sketch as to what you thought a dress should look like, and there it was in the lineup the following spring. Good initiative. Love you, kid. Prince Connor, we love you too. The princess would say we love you more. Sometimes it's a bit easier. We appreciate all the support and all the love and support you've shown Princess Allie, and what a great son you have already been to us. You're always there to lend a hand and fit in beautifully in the family. We can't wait to see pale Irish, 96% Eastern European Jewish kids running around the kingdom. Mom and I are so happy that you have each found the love of your lives. You have created such a strong foundation and so supportive of each other, which is good news as none of you have opted for the warranty that extends beyond a 1-year period. We wish you a lifetime of happiness and know that you will live happily ever after. Remember to keep putting each other's needs first, have patience and keep a lot of sunscreen around, and most importantly, remember that your parents are still always right. Everybody have fun tonight. Let's raise our glasses and wish the bride and groom a heartfelt mazel tov. Thank you, everybody.
That was awesome. Yeah, once your glasses are down, give them a huge round of applause. All right, and ladies and gentlemen, enjoy some soft music and your first course. Thank you.